Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we're doing a review impressions of 4 more Poikilo knives. I had a total of 15 that was loaned to me. We're checking out 4 more, so let's talk about it. Alright, today we're looking at 4 more Poikilo knives. I was loaned 15 knives from Poikilo Knives themselves, which is super awesome of them. I found out about them at Blade Show, Texas. Didn't know they were there. Another YouTuber actually had a Gecko. He had the stone-washed version. It was kind of like this right here version of the Gecko. He had it at a after Blade Show meal that we were at, and I saw it and I was like, man, I love this thing. This thing is amazing. I want one of these. And so when he brought that, I was like, okay. So I started hunting him down. Turns out EDC Lifestyle had bought a few of them and they dropped some, made them available. So I actually had a chance to handle a couple of, I had a chance to buy a Gecko. Loved it, thought it was awesome. Then I loved the Gecko so much, then I started looking at what else do they have. So they had another one, I bought a Taro. I love the Taro. Mine is the plain, version. They allowed me to check out the Mid-Tech. Mid-Tech is super cool, by the way. So those are the 2 that I own, but I'm sure there's others I'd love to own. So let's look at these guys because one I love already. The other one I think is pretty darn cool. And at first I wasn't a big fan, but I've grown to kind of like it. It's weird. You do the unboxing, you're like, it's not my cup of tea, it's not my aesthetic. And the more you handle it, you're like, I don't hate it, I kind of like that. And next thing you know, you're like, okay, I dig it. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at here. So first of all, let's talk about it. The knife name, this is the Gecko. This is the Armadillo. So yeah, this is the one that's a new one. Now, this is a new one. I don't think they show this on their website yet, and I don't think they show this on their website, but they had some at Blade Show, and EDC Lifestyle bought some of these, and I got one. This one I have yet to see anywhere. I've only seen this checking out from them. It may be out there somewhere, but when I first checked, I didn't find it anywhere. The Armadillo is cool. It is very different. It's a recurve blade, which I'm not a fan of recurve. It definitely has buoy tendencies. I know some people would say, well, they might say, well, it's a buoy, it's a clip point. They might even say, I don't know, they might call it a, oh my gosh, my brain just went dead. You guys are probably gonna make comments down there because I can't remember. But anyways, it's got that little kind of a finger trail, little spot there. It almost, harpoon, what the heck? Like a harpoon looking, like the Marlin has the harpoon looking thing up here. I don't know if you'd call that. To me, it looks like a Bowie sort of a mix up there, like a little bit of a Bowie, maybe, recurve. You could argue the point. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a clip point. To me, a clip point truly is flat. I know people, I see Ben Peterson's chart, it's a little spit. To me, if you make them both have a little concave design, then I feel like what's the difference between a Bowie and a clip point? To me, they're like, one is just, one shorter than the other? I mean, then I've heard people get mixed up. So I'm going to go by my definition. You can correct me. Blade Police, feel free to correct me. I'm going to call this I'm going to call it a harpoon Bowie recurve blade. So there you go. The Gecko, obviously to me, is a straight up drop point. Pretty easy flipper, great action, easy to get to the clip point, easy to hold on to. What I love about that, beautiful clip, easy to look at, easy to go in and out of the pocket, which is really nice. Hidden hardware. You've got one screw there, one screw on the pivot. That's how it comes apart. That's how I put skiffs in mine. Mine's tuned really well. A couple of these lock bars are a little stiff, which is fine. One stiffer than the other. Mine is actually this one right here, but I keep it in my case because I don't want to mix them up. Mine has skiffs in it, and it's tuned just a little bit better. This is stiffer, and that's how I know absolutely the 2 are different. But very cool. They also have, like I said, a version like this. Again, the Armadillo. Pretty cool action. The flipper works really nicely, and the fuller is nice. Now, it's a really, really, really crisp, strong detent over travel stop steel bar insert there. Hidden hardware on there. Same thing with the screw in there. The flipper works really well. You can choke up. It's a little small. You can't choke up. It's not as nice as you would like on this one. Definitely have a lot of room back here. Definitely got that kind of a almost Persian looking kind of handle shape, which to me kind of puts it into that sort of Persian, Bowie, recurve, whatever. You can call it whatever you want. Right? Anyways, I think it's just too small. It's a temptation. It's not really doesn't work well. But I like it. I like it. I mean, it's not my cup of tea as far as aesthetic, but it's very functional. It works, and to me, the big thing here for me, it's more the look of the look of the blade. It's not how well it performs and all that stuff. So I like it. I like it. It works well in my hand. Of course, this is my favorite. This was the first one, so it's my favorite. But it's just really solid. You know, this one right here, and it has a nice choke up position for your fingers. You can choke up really well. The jimping works well. My jimping felt more engaged. This one feels a little smoother on this one for whatever reason. Let me feel this one. Is it different? Yeah, mine felt like a little more solid. I don't know. Maybe they're different runs. I don't know, but I like this one. This one's not as drop shutty as mine because again, it uses the OEM cage bearings. And they probably tighten up the lock bar, and I did tune my lock bar just a little bit. I like doing that. All right, so Armadillo, Gecko, in-house design. I'm going to assume. I don't know if they worked with someone. I don't know enough. There's no other design. M398 blade steel, by the way. M398 blade steel. Yeah, so these are all, I don't see any other design marks on there, so I'm going to assume they all work with the same one. Materials, M398. This is a hand set and finish, or satin, belt set and finish on here. This one is that pearlescence kind of polish. It's like a bead blasted, but it's high polished bead blasted, which is cool. This one is like an atomic wash, or what they call a working finish, like Hinder knives. I call it a sort of like an acid stone washed. That's the best I can describe it. I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely like probably officially a stone wash is what they call it, but to me it looks more like an acid stone wash personally. Maybe it's just a raw titanium that they didn't do any polishing on, and then they just stone washed it, which I guess that can kind of get you that kind of look. Also save you on some costs of having to do some other finishes, but pretty nice, pretty nice. So the lock type, frame lock. You don't see any of the hardware on here. You don't see any of the hardware in there. It's all inside the screw, easy access to get to inside, which I think once you disassemble it, hardly any hardware outside. You do have a place for a lanyard. It's kind of hidden in there, but it definitely works. Unique texture on the back spacer. I think it's kind of cool. That's definitely different. This one is too. This is kind of a plain Jane with the holes, but over here you've got kind of a different tone, right? Oh, it's the same. All right, sorry, I thought it was a different tone. All right, so, but you definitely have the two-tone with the polish. I think that's cool. All right, what else do we have? We do have a good weight relief on the inside with that back. Oh, by the way, kind of unique back spacer. This reminds me of Herman knives, by the way. Just wanted to let you know that. I think that's cool. This is a unique kind of H's back there. I think it's kind of cool. And it does engage you. It does lock you in. I think it has H's on both. Yeah. So it looks like H is like, hi, what's up? I don't know. But like your knife is saying, hey, what's going on? Let's cut some things. It's like, I don't know. So maybe you got a happy knife ready to say happy, hello, and ready to cut. I don't know. That's up to you. Right there, no sharp spots. I like that. I like that the clip goes over. This one has a nice ramp going in and out. Do you see that? In and out. So that's comfortable. It's going in and out of the pocket really well. That to me is important. People don't realize that's a big deal. Now, I get some people will make that really sharp edge because maybe they're somewhere where they want to lose their knife and they want it to really grip and catch on. That's fair. Whatever. Not my cup of tea, but it is, a lot of people, I guess, like that. Like the swedge on here. This actually has a small swedge, but they both have a swedge, and the swedge is nice for navigating a cut. It's kind of like a rudder on a ship, right? You want to turn a ship right, the rudder goes right. In other words, if you want to turn this way, the rudder goes this way, and that allows you to turn. Same thing here. Because it turns this way, it allows you to cut right. Just this one goes this way, it allows you to cut left. So it helps you to navigate the cut, especially cutting through leather, plastic, cardboard, whatever. All right. So that's the material, the lock types, how it closes, you disengage. It's not cutaway. Let's see here. Okay, so this one right here is about equal. There's no extra cutaway. Nice milling, nice chamfering here. There is texture on there, which I think is really cool. Does allow you to get in there. I think that's pretty cool. Pretty comfortable. I think if I tuned the lock bar, put skiffs in there, This would be just an outstanding knife if it just didn't have a recurve. Otherwise, I mean, I don't hate it. It's just weird to say. It's so, it's just so different in my collection. I don't know if it's cool. I like it. I just don't know if I'd carry it. It's because it's so different looking. And that's the other thing, you know, as much as I like it and I think it's cool right now, is it a long-term collection piece, right? Will I carry it? Will I regularly carry it? And there's certain aesthetics I like and certain I don't. And so I got to think about that, right? Those are thoughts. Those are considerations for me. Maybe not for you, but certainly for me. All right, Blade M390. We talked about the finishes, all that stuff. Let's do some measurements. Let's see how heavy this guy is. All right, or these guys are. And they should be pretty consistent, right? So we'll do the Armadillos first. No, we'll do the Geckos first. Why not? I think I did the Gecko in my unboxing, but if not, we'll do it here again. So the Gecko, first one, 3.2. Let's see if the milli makes any difference. 3.2, pretty consistent. Let's see, probably the finishes. Does that change anything? 4.0. 4.0, exactly the same. So 3.2, 4.0, not bad. Not bad. All right, so let's do some measurements on length. We'll do each separately. All right, so let's do the Gecko first. So the Gecko going from tip to back is 7 1/4. 7 1/4 if you go all the way out there, so 7 1/4. Handle length, if we go all the way to the choke position, you got 4 1/8. 4 1/8. Blade shape from the tip to the back of the scale, you're looking at 3 3/16. 3/16, yeah. And so cutting length is going to be 3 1/16. 3 1/16. Let's look at the cutting length over here, or overall length on this guy. We're dealing with right at 8 inches. Is this one right? Right at 8 inches. Handle from here to here, you've got, I want to say 3 3/4. You could try the choke up position, it'd be 4 1/2. I don't like this. It's not enough room for big meaty fingers. So I mean, I'd recommend against it. All right. Blade length overall, 3 1/2, and then we're doing with 3 1/2. And let's look at the cutting length. We're dealing with 3 3/8 and 3 3/8. Yeah, pretty consistent between the two. So not bad, not bad. All right, let's look at the blade stock thickness on these guys. They should all be pretty consistent. I mean, at least it'll tell you quality control, right? Is it pretty consistent or not? So, oh yeah, this one is kind of hard to stand on the spine because they have unique shapes. So we're gonna have to hold them up. We're gonna have to help them up like someone had a little too much to drink, I guess. So anyway, so here we go. All right, let's look at the first one. We've got 126 thousandths of an inch. 126 thousandths of an inch. Yeah, it's about, you know, give or take 0.005. So 127 thousandths of an inch, and this one's going to be, I guess, 158 thousandths of an inch. And then this one's going to be 160, ooh, wait, hold on. 157 thousandths of an inch. Let's go back and measure this again. 157,000, 158 thousandths of an inch. So pretty consistent between the two, which is nice, right? All right, so that's the blade stock thickness. Let's look, what's the category on these guys? So these guys are going to run each. All right, so I'm back. I just wanted to get an idea. We're looking at about $380 to $400 for these knives. They're all about that range. So they're definitely going to fall into the higher end range. Now, I did see some mid-tech versions like of the Armadillo. So I'm sure it's going to be mid-tech of the Gecko somewhere. And those will definitely probably run in the over $600 range, which means those would be custom mid-tech range. So their mid-tech is not really like, I would say it's a really high, it's mid-tech quality materials and probably some extra hands-on stuff like true mid-techs, but it is still made in China. But the cost and the quality is definitely something to understand. Because first of all, these knives are, in my opinion, are a step up from Riot and Bestech, some of the best Riot Bestech that's out there. Anything that I've ever handled, the best stuff. I'm talking from like the Riot with Voodoo knives or Knoll knives, which just are phenomenal. You know, Bestech that does things like winter blades and Grambo knives and a whole bunch of other folks. I mean, those are just phenomenal. They're phenomenal. This is next level stuff. Now, just because it's next level stuff doesn't always mean that you're going to find an aesthetic that you personally like. But as they continue to develop and design new things, I think you'll run into something, right? So I really do think they're pretty cool for the price factor. So are they EDC hard juice and collection piece? Absolutely. You can collect every one of these if you want to collect them. My collection, you know, so I carry and I use what I collect. So that would definitely fall into the realm for sure. Are they hard juice? Yeah, I would absolutely do hard juice on. Oh, this one's so hard to do. Oh, I have mine tuned where I can do this very much easier. But absolutely hard juice as far as I would concern, you know, as far as I would consider them, I would definitely do so. Absolutely EDC, no problems there. Overall design, handles, open and close and textures, you know, tuning my Gecko is just so much, you know, it's broken in better, it's got skiffs, everything like that. It's a great knife. Opening, closing is phenomenal. The textures are great. There is jimping here that actually works. I think at least on mine it's functional. There's a lanyard if you need it, right? The clip and everything is nice, goes in and out of the pocket really, really well. The fuller hole, thumb hole works really nicely. The front flipper works really nicely. So I like all of that. The overall opening, closing is great. What I think of the fidgety factor on that one, ooh, this is so hard to do. Okay, so I can get a little higher. This is where my tuned one is much better. It's just so stiff compared to the one I have. Let's see, is this one a little looser? I don't know. Because it does reverse flick really nicely. That's a little tough. That's a little tough. But it does reverse once you break it in and whatever. Anyhow, opening, closing, lanyard, all that good stuff. I like it. I like it. What is my overall feel on these? This one's one of my favorite. At least the one I have. These are great. I like this pearlescent one here. This is much smoother than I would say this one. This one's a little crisper, a little tighter. It's not quite the same. It's harder to deploy. This one's a little easier to deploy, a little more comfortable. It feels like it's more broken in. So this would be something that I would choose to want to do, something like this. Because I think I can I do it? No. Yeah, it's because of the way it's so stiff there. I would have it totally tuned differently. Anyways, I think it's fantastic in some regards. So fidget factor, flipper, fuller, both work really nicely. I don't think you can front flip, no. So I'm going to give that a 4 out of 10. I'm going to give this one with the fuller and the reverse, with the way I have mine tuned, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I absolutely love that one. So as far as fidgety goodness, this one's not bad. This one's not bad. I'm going to give it a 90. It's definitely an A-. It's certainly better than a lot of the other ones, and I like that. Especially this one right here. It's tuned really, really closer to what I would have. It's still a little stiff. This one's really stiff. Not a fan, but if you love really stiff, you know, strong detents, you're going to love this. So it's nice to see that you can get that. This one's a 98. It's almost an A+. It's just right there. I'm going to give it a 98. Mine is way better. You know, like I said, I put skips and I tuned it. Because it's a little stiff. Now, it's kind of prioritized for the thumb hole. I like to have a detent that's tuned for the front flipper, because that's, you know, when you have something like this, I feel like that's like the premier way to deploy it. I can still do the knuckle flip, but it's tight. If I miss and slide, I'm going to scrape and it's going to be uncomfortable. Whereas mine, I don't really have to worry about finding that exact spot. So you can quickly do it. Yeah, so 98, and I'm going to give this one a 90. So it's an A-. This is an A+ for sure. All right. Are they recommended? Absolutely recommended, and they're going to be in, believe it or not, this is going to be my favorites too. It's so outside my design, I may come back and get this at some point. It's so weird. Yeah, I probably need to think more about this one. I don't know if I'd really want it in my collection. You know, I'd probably end up, if I got this, I'd probably end up selling it or giving it away. But it's different. It's certainly different, right? Yeah, so there we go. That's my thoughts on this. I think there are a couple of great knives. I got to group these together and get them going to the next reviewer. I have 15 knives is a lot to go through quickly. It really is. You'd be surprised. So appreciate you guys watching. If you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button down below? Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So a big shout out, thank you to every one of you guys out there. I sure do appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Thank you. If you haven't already, you know, check hit the notification button. I can't remember. Notification button down below so you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. And a big shout out to my channel members. You guys do 2 amazing things for me. I don't do this full time. I'm part time. So you guys encourage me and continue to revive and fan the flames of my joy of knives, even when sometimes work is busy and overwhelming. I appreciate you guys. You're there. The other thing is, by your support of the memberships, man, you allow me to do things way sooner than I ever thought I could. Check out knives, handle knives, ship them around. You allow me to continue to do the weekly Budget Banger giveaways because I wouldn't be able to cover that and the shipping. So thank you. Thank you to everyone of you guys out there. And a big shout out, a big thank you to all the channel members. Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. If you didn't already know, the other thing I like to do is give every channel member a brand new a sticker, a channel sticker. So if you're just became a channel member, love to send you a channel sticker. A little thank you note. That kind of applies to anybody who's actively a member right now, who's never gotten a channel sticker, never asked for one. So if you're a brand new channel member, you're a member all along and you just never asked, or if you were a member and you lost your membership and then you came back and became a member again, ask. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and I'll send you a little thank you note. All I need is your name and your address, right? So email that to me. All right, big thank you. Thank you to everyone out there. Appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.